Why hello there and welcome back to the Video Dungeon, where I dredge the darkest depths of degenerate cinema. And tonight we'll be looking at Biotherapy, from 1986, and also Japan, a tale of grisly murder, science gone wrong, and other things that kinda make sense in context. Sometimes. So now let the movie begin. Biotherapy opens with stars and cars and a blinding flash of light, which you might think would be an issue of primary concern, but apparently it isn't. And then to Dr. Hirose, who is doing some science in his lab, and apparently exposure to the shooting stars has affected the color of the GT agent, and you might think that this has some relevance to the plot, even just a tiny bit, but no, it does not. But then another mysterious flash, and a mysterious visitor with a mysterious hat who wants the GT agent. But Dr. Hirose would rather destroy it than hand it over. Which this guy doesn't take too kindly to. And just to make a point, he rips out Dr. Hirose's eye to make a nice backdrop for the title card. Then to another lab where Kambara is tending to the science tanks, and apparently Dr. Hirose is late. Probably because he's dead. But then Shiozawa finds some mysterious data on her computer, which transitions us into a flashback, although there is nothing to actually indicate that, where some little fish are given the GT agent and become big fish, because that's what it does, it makes things grow faster. Dr. Hirose, who was alive at the time, questions everyone about who performed these unauthorized tests, and apparently it was Date, who feels that since he developed it, he should be able to demonstrate the effects for the companies that want to finance his research. But Dr. Hirose is concerned about the side effects and doesn't want to reveal the GT agent to the public until they're all solved. Anyway, Date accuses Hirose of stealing his research to develop on his own, which, to be fair, is kinda what he was doing at the beginning of the movie, so Date leaves and Maeda goes with him, and just as abruptly as it began, the flashback ends. Okay, so was the data they found on the computer about what happened during that flashback? Because they were both there, so they would already know about it. But then the power suddenly goes off, and it seems that they too have a visitor. Oh, never mind, it's just Mayumi. She's upset because Kambara missed their date, but more importantly, they're providing an excuse for Shiozawa to be alone in the lab so that she can receive a phone call and find out that Dr. Hirose has been murdered, and receive her own visit from flashy spooky hat man. And guess what he wants? Also, we find out that apparently his world lacks the resources to make GT agent, hence why he's here, taking it and murdering people, but Shiozawa either doesn't know or isn't telling where it is, so unfortunately, I can't show you the whole scene because it goes on for an entire minute, but it is very entertaining. But eventually Kambara and Mayumi hear a crash and run off to investigate. Oh, well, everything here looks fine. I guess it was just nothing. Oh, never mind. After questioning, the police let Mayumi go, but decide to trail her. Very subtly. But while walking home, Mayumi gets got by Maeda. They share knowledge of the various murders that they are each aware of, and Maeda asks Mayumi to find Dr. Hirose's research, for some reason. But since this looks really suspicious, the detective chases him away. Mayumi chases after them, but unfortunately, and so they decide to look for the research, because 3 people have already been killed over it, so it's probably totally safe. This is called a floppy disk. In ye olden days, they were used for computer storage and could hold upwards of 360 kilobytes of data, or 0.018% of what you could put on this outdated micro SD card. Unfortunately, nothing turns up, and as they're about to leave, Mr. Spooky Hat appears, and is evaded with surprising ease. And oh look, the detectives are here too. But unfortunately, it seems that their assailant has Voorhees-like powers of appearing in front of you while you're running away from him, and is invulnerable to bullets. That's unfortunate. So, Blue Suit Detective gets his teeth knocked out with his gun, and also his brain, and Bearded Detective just gets slammed into a wall. And in this movie, that is just an uninspired kill. Kambara and Mayumi barely escape with the aid of Date, who fills us in on the dangerous side effects of GT Agent, which is that if released into the ocean in large quantities, it would kill 99% of the plankton, which I won't get into the specifics of, but would be very bad. Also, despite the dangers, he still wants to continue with the research, and of course needs Dr. Hirose's research. So it's off to his private lab, where I guess the murder was just never reported. Also, Date easily finds the clearly labeled research files. That's probably what they should have looked for the first time. Of course, it is earlier stated that Date is the one who found Hirose murdered, and you kinda gotta question why he didn't just get the disc then, since he was literally there, but this movie doesn't make an awful lot of sense, as you were about to find out. However, their, at this point, expected visitor drops in and provides some exposition. Apparently, he comes from the far future and is of the second race of Earthlings that evolved from alien bacteria after all life on Earth dies out due to pollution in around 500 years. And he also tells us that the GT Agent will be completed in 1 month's time as GT Agent 2, and that it's going to be great and save the world from famine, but he wants to kill them to prevent them from developing it, and then also pour the GT Agent into the ocean to wipe out all life on Earth so that his race can get an earlier start. None of which actually makes sense. Unfortunately, Date informs him that he's too late, news which he does not seem to appreciate. But at least we finally get to see what this dude looks like. Okay. Before another unnecessarily long and graphic kill scene. Kambara tries to intervene but gets the green mist, and it's good to see that the spirit of Puroresu is still alive in the far future. But then Date pulls out the GT Agent 2, which I guess he just kinda carries with him, and pours it on the future space bacteria man, who reacts poorly and just flashes away. After he's gone, Date tells Kambara that he completed the GT Agent 2 and to destroy his research on it, and then dies. And after some reflection, Kambara announces that he's going to finish the GT Agent 2, which, mind you, Date just said was already finished, for world peace or something. The end. And there we have it. Biotherapy. A movie that delivers on what it promises, but doesn't promise a lot. It is more or less just an excuse to have some gory death scenes strung together with a semi-coherent narrative. But that's what it's for. It's a thing that you put on maybe with some friends to just kick back and laugh at the ridiculous death scenes. Which is good because the story is not sense-making. Future alien bacteria guy has really weird and inconsistent motives. First he says that he needs the GT Agent and that he can't make it where he's from, and then he says that he wants to stop them from making it for no real reason, and that he's going to go and pour the GT Agent into the ocean for, once again, no real reason. I mean, yeah, he has reasons, but his reasons are stupid and they don't make sense if you apply any amount of critical thought to it. Also, if Date was finished with the GT Agent 2, then why did he need the research on the GT Agent? And why was he carrying it in his pocket? And what is the difference between the first GT Agent and GT Agent 2? Did they fix the side effects? If so, why did Date tell him to destroy the research? And then, why did Kambara not do that? these are all questions. This movie is just full of questions and no answers. When it tries to give you an answer, it just raises more questions. Honestly, it's one of those things where you're not sure if, like, the translation is bad or if the story is just that bad. And I did double check the translations on some of the more awkward bits, and they seem to hold up, so it's just that bad. Also, at 36 minutes long, this movie is just as long as it needs to be, and I realize that sounds like a backhanded compliment, but it is not. I would much rather watch a 36-minute movie with a 36-minute story than a 90-minute movie with a 36-minute story, and that's what I usually end up watching. Honestly, I don't know why, in America at least, there was and is this bizarre idea that to be a real movie, something has to have, like, some sort of minimum runtime, like an hour or 90 minutes, it varies. And that leads to a lot of movies, especially in the low-grade, straight-to-video garbage pile that I dig through, filling themselves with a bunch of padding to make them longer, even when it makes the movie significantly worse. Like, just in general, the value of media should not be determined by its length. If you go to see a 30 or 40 minute movie, you're not getting ripped off because it wasn't 2 hours long. It's the quality that matters, not the quantity. And short films and novellas, a lot of these things are really good, especially in the horror genre, because they are as long as they need to be, and not longer. Okay, I seem to have gone off on a bit of a tangent here, so I should probably get back to reviewing this movie. So, yeah, Biotherapy, a fun piece of stupid entertainment that you should watch, if for nothing else than to be amused at the ridiculous death scenes. Unless you have some kind of problem with subtitles, in which case that is a completely different tangent that I will save for another time. Alright, thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, then make sure to hit all of the lovely buttons, and if there are any movies that you want to see me review, let me know about them in the comments, and I might check them out. Well, until next time.